Hello everyone, and a warm welcome back to BION, the channel dedicated to exploring holistic self-development through the wisdom found in books. Have you ever found yourself wondering how you can proactively protect your health and truly heal from illnesses, instead of just resorting to a quick trip to the pharmacy for a temporary solution, or heading to the hospital with the slim hope of finding the right doctor and the right treatment? This very question is what ignited my own journey into the world of traditional medicine. For over a year, I have been practicing Qigong and applying wellness exercises rooted in its principles to safeguard my health. The results have been remarkable, bringing significant improvements not only to my well-being, but to my family's as well. It is for this reason that, in the very first video of this new year, I am excited to share a brand new topic with you: healing the body through the profound wisdom of traditional medicine. Often, when people hear the term traditional medicine, they might imagine a field that is mysterious, complex, and difficult to approach. This perception is understandable, given the various schools of thought and the notable differences that exist, for instance, between Chinese and Vietnamese traditional medicine. However, our focus today will not be on dissecting these differences or delving into specific remedies. Instead, my goal is to introduce you to the most fundamental, core concepts that form the very foundation of traditional medicine. By understanding these basics, you will gain the ability to assess your own health status and, more importantly, build personalized wellness practices to care for yourself and facilitate more effective healing. At present, a significant portion of my knowledge is drawn from books on Chinese traditional medicine, as I have yet to find easily accessible, non-specialist materials on Vietnamese traditional medicine. Therefore, today's discussion is primarily based on a highly regarded Chinese book that I treasure, titled An Introduction to the Classics of Chinese Medicine, authored by Dr. Li Xin, a leading expert in the field of traditional Chinese medicine. This book stands out for its unique ability to present profound concepts in a remarkably simple and accessible manner. It breaks away from the typically academic and highly technical language found in most medical texts. I sincerely hope that today's conversation will help you on your path to recovering and maintaining your health in a more aligned and effective way. May you be filled with vitality every day and begin this new year with an abundance of positive energy. Now, let's begin this journey together. To prevent and heal illness, we must return to the very roots of life itself. Modern medicine operates on a crucial principle: everything must be scientifically proven. Consequently, many people approach traditional medicine with the same mindset, attempting to validate it through methods like pharmaceutical trials or biochemical studies. However, this approach cannot be fully applied to traditional medicine. Why? Because human beings cannot rely solely on the material and tangible to prove things that exist on an invisible level. Modern medicine perceives humans as biological organisms, focusing primarily on what the senses can perceive and what tangible organs reveal, followed by logical analysis. This is why modern medicine excels at treating symptoms and providing rapid pain relief. With its advancements, people often adopt a reactive approach, waiting for health problems to surface before seeking treatment. In stark contrast, traditional medicine views humans as living beings, placing great emphasis on the invisible aspects and our subjective spiritual experiences. From this perspective, healing isn't just for when you're sick. More importantly, when you are healthy, you must still practice Yanxing or life cultivation to truly prevent and heal illness. One must not only alleviate the pain of tangible organs, but also address the invisible levels such as energy, spirit, psychology, and emotions. This concept echoes what is written in Conversations with God. Physical health is in fact spiritual health. Healing only the physical body is insufficient. One must also heal the spiritual body. This comprehensive approach is the key to genuinely preventing and curing disease. To achieve this, traditional medicine first advises us to return to the root. What is the origin of life? In modern medicine, human life begins with the union of a sperm and an egg, forming a tiny zygote that contains all the genetic information needed to develop into a person. In traditional medicine, however, life is understood as the combination of essence, Jing. The ancient text, Wang Di Hin, the Yellow Emperor's inner canon, states, life arises from essence. When the essences of the parents intersect, spirit Shen is formed. The communication of spirit gives rise to soul Hun. So, what does this mean? The foundation of life is the essence inherited from our parents. When these two life forces combine, they generate Shen. Shen is closely related to what we now call the mind or consciousness. It encompasses our emotions and energetic state. The Hun or soul can be simply understood as our subconscious and instincts. For instance, even while we sleep, our body automatically maintains breathing, heartbeat, and blood pressure. The ancients believed this was the work of the Hun. In traditional medicine, if the Hun is damaged, the Shen cannot remain focused. The human body is like a vessel containing life energy. If this vessel is cracked, the energy will leak away. The book also cites the example of antique collectors who gather ancient jade artifacts, many of which were burial objects. Over time, these collectors often develop insomnia, unstable moods, and chronic health issues. Why does this happen? Because these objects carried the essence of their previous owners, who had handled them constantly and were even buried with them. Their spirit and soul became imprinted on those items. When the new owner's energy clashes with the lingering energy of the old owner, an instability arises in their own spirit and soul, manifesting as physical illness. At first glance, many might dismiss this as mere superstition, but this is precisely the invisible dimension that cannot be judged through a purely material or tangible perspective. Interestingly, modern science offers its own explanations for the same phenomenon. It might suggest that unearthed artifacts carry bacteria or viruses, or that the psychological power of suggestion, fueled by the item's history, creates anxiety and illness in the new owner. This demonstrates that different disciplines view the same problem through different lenses. There is no absolute right or wrong. What truly matters is keeping an open mind and gaining another perspective on life itself. By understanding the concepts of Shen, spirit, and Hun, soul, that constitute our life force, we can develop proactive and effective ways to protect our health. In summary, from the perspective of traditional medicine, essence Jing if you compare it to a person's finances, essence is like your savings account. To keep this reserve abundant, you must also nurture and heal both your Shen spirit and Kun, soul. Once we understand these three essential components of life, we can continue to explore the principles and methods of traditional medicine for healing and health preservation, principles that are basic, yet truly core to its philosophy. Have you ever wondered what the best state for your body truly is? Most of us might think of a body that's strong, flexible, youthful, and brimming with vitality, a state that makes others unable to guess our real age. However, in the realm of traditional medicine, the ultimate state of health is defined by something much deeper, achieving the unity of heaven and human and the unity of body and spirit. This philosophy of nurturing life and healing emphasizes a profound connection between ourselves and the world around us. Here, BION isn't a mystical or divine concept, but simply the natural environment we inhabit. Human Nan refers to us. Therefore, heaven-human unity signifies the deep, interconnected, and mutually influential relationship between people and their environment. Similarly, Bodhiachi, NH, represents our physical form, the tangible, material basis of our existence, including muscles, blood vessels, tendons, bones, organs, and tissues. Spirithine, on the other hand, represents our mental activity, consciousness, and inner energy. Unity of body and spirit describes the harmony between our physical body and our mind, the seamless connection between body and heart. In essence, heaven-human unity and body-spirit unity describe a state where we reconnect with nature, attune ourselves to the surrounding environment, and allow our spirit and life energy to harmonize with our physical form. Only in this state of alignment can the body truly reach its optimal condition. This might sound abstract, but it's not as difficult to grasp as it seems. Consider the state many people find themselves in after a long day at work. Their eyes are vacant. Their bodies are exhausted. Once home, they use the last dregs of their energy to stare blankly at a phone screen. In this condition, they lose the ability to sense their environment, feel a constant, nagging fatigue, and crave only immediate, fleeting gratification. This is a classic example of what happens when we lose the spirit. The body becomes dominated by fluctuating emotions, distracted by external stimuli, and entangled in trivial matters. When the spirit is scattered and unfocused, the body functions like a machine, while the soul no longer truly feels or experiences the richness of life. This issue isn't confined to adults. It's increasingly visible in children as well. Early and prolonged exposure to technology can impact their mental development, making them more prone to inattention and emotional instability. This contributes to the rising prevalence of anxiety, stress, and early onset illnesses we see in modern society. The wisdom of traditional medicine suggests a simple yet powerful solution. Try changing your lifestyle to move closer to heaven-human unity. If you spend too much time in the dense urban environment, take a trip to the countryside or return to your hometown anywhere, closer to nature. Even in daily life, you can engage in small, restorative activities like sunbathing for a few minutes, walking under trees, or simply taking a moment to observe the flowers and listen to the wind. These small changes can have an immediate and profound effect. They can refresh the spirit, make breathing feel deeper and smoother, and bring about a sense of relaxation and ease. Spending time in nature and engaging in simple physical work helps us reconnect with the natural rhythm of life, awakening our innate vitality and relaxing both body and mind. Why does this work so well? Modern science explains it through the benefits of fresh air, a cleaner environment, and moderate physical activity that enhances metabolism and reduces stress hormones. From the perspective of traditional medicine, the explanation is even more fundamental. Humans are creations of nature. We belong to nature. Returning to and harmonizing with heaven and earth is our most natural state of being. When we are close to nature, we restore the vital communication and energy exchange between our bodies and the environment. This process is what heals, restores, and sustains our health in the most profound and effective way. In fact, achieving heaven-human unity is the best path toward achieving body-spirit unity, often referred to as mind-body harmony. To reach this state, in addition to living in harmony with nature, we must also adhere to the principles of nurturing the body NG, Ache, NH and nurturing T, spirit NG, NA. When it comes to nurturing the body, there's a practical sequence to follow. For urgent issues, the priority is to treat the branches, meaning acute symptoms must be addressed first to relieve pain and restore basic function. Without this initial step, long-term adjustments become impossible. Afterward, for chronic conditions, the focus shifts to treating the root. delving deeper to address the underlying mental and energetic imbalances that cause the problem in the first place. Practical nurturing of the body begins with daily habits, incorporating regular exercise that suits your constitution, maintaining a balanced and nourishing diet, and establishing consistent daily routines for sleeping and waking. Nurturing the spirit, on the other hand, requires us to keep the mind calm and the heart simple and pure. Traditional medicine places immense value on the stability of the spirit. This means avoiding excessive worry or sorrow, maintaining emotional balance, and steering clear of persistent negative states like anxiety, fear, anger, or depression. A calm and stable spirit is the best way to protect and preserve the health of the body. While all of this sounds simple in principle, achieving true heaven-human unity and body-spirit unity in practice is not always easy. Why is it that many people exercise regularly, eat a careful diet, live in natural surroundings, or travel frequently, yet still find themselves suffering from illnesses that never seem to fully resolve? This is because they are often missing a balance in one crucial underlying element: ki, or the vital energy that flows through all things. And this will be the next topic we explore. In the traditional view of health, alongside Jing, which is our essential life force, and Shen, our spiritual vitality, there is another core element that forms the bedrock of our well-being and longevity: Qi. Qi is the very energy that animates us. If you think of Jing as the stored, foundational battery of life, and Shen as the light that this battery powers throughout our body, then Qi is the electrical current itself, the dynamic process of energy circulation. It represents the intake, transformation, and continuous flow of vital energy that sustains every function of our being. When this flow of Qi becomes imbalanced, or, in other words, when its circulation gets blocked, the body loses its ability to recover and heal itself properly. To resolve this fundamental issue, we must first trace Qi back to its origins. By understanding where our energy comes from, we can begin to identify the sources of these blockages and restore our natural vitality. The primary step in this process is identifying precisely where the energy has become stuck. In traditional medicine, the sources of Qi are understood to originate from three main regions of the body, known as the three burners. The first is the lower burner, or HT. The Qi in this region is derived from the congenital Jing Qi, the original essence we inherit from our parents at the time of conception. This is often called Yuan Qi, or original Qi. For instance, some infants are born with a frail constitution and are prone to frequent illness. A significant reason for this can be that their parents did not properly care for their own health before conception, leading to an insufficient reserve of congenital Qi for the child. These kinds of deficiencies are inherently difficult to correct and require dedicated, long-term effort and care after birth to overcome. Disorders originating in the lower burner often manifest as problems in the urinary and reproductive systems, pain or weakness in the lumbar region and lower abdomen, coldness in the legs, as well as a lack of concentration or emotional instability. Next is the middle burner, or Trung Ti. This source of Qi initially comes from the prenatal nutrition a fetus receives through the umbilical cord. After birth, it is generated from the food we consume and the efficiency of our digestive processes. In our early life, the stability of this Qi depends on the nourishment we received in the womb. Later on, it becomes entirely reliant on the function of our own spleen and stomach. If the digestive system is weak, the body will show clear signs of an imbalance in the middle burner. Symptoms such as irregular stools, persistent bad breath, recurrent mouth ulcers, or the accumulation of excess body fat are all indicators that the Qi in this central region is not flowing correctly. Finally, we have the upper burner, or the NGT. The energy from this region is also known as clear Qi, because it is generated from the exchange between our body and the natural environment, primarily through our respiratory system. This ki is directly linked to the health of our lungs, nose, skin, and the surface of our body. If you experience issues like abnormal sweating, catching colds frequently, suffering from recurrent allergies, or dealing with persistent nasal and sinus problems, it often signals an underlying disorder in the upper burner. After identifying the region where the energy blockage is located, the next crucial step is to determine the timing of the ki circulation. Ki operates in a natural rhythm of two fundamental states, opening and closing. The opening state is when our spirit is full, our energy is directed outward, and we are engaged in action and activity. Conversely, the closing state is when we feel tired, and our energy naturally gathers inward to rest, repair, and restore itself. For optimal health, the opening and closing of our ki must be in harmony with the universal principle of the unity between humanity and nature. During the daytime, as the sun rises and the world awakens with activity, our ki should naturally be in an opening state. After a night of restful sleep, engaging in gentle morning exercise can effectively activate our internal energy and prepare us for the day ahead. In contrast, at nighttime, as darkness falls after a day of labor and exertion, our ki should transition into a closing state. This is the time when the body requires quiet rest and deep relaxation to replenish its reserves. However, if a person habitually stays awake past 11 p.m., absorbed in their phone, video games, or television, or lying in bed worrying about the next day's tasks, the mind cannot find peace. This disruption prevents the ki from closing properly, leading to a state of disorder. This kind of chronic disorder is frequently the starting point for the development of illness. In the framework of traditional medicine, regardless of the specific ailment or the treatment method being considered, the absolute prerequisite for healing is to correctly determine whether the body's ki needs to open or close. For example, many individuals under constant work pressure suffer from chronic issues like diarrhea, tension, headaches, or stomach pain. These symptoms often reflect an excessive opening of the upper and middle burners, where energy is being continuously and unsustainably expended. This leads to a depletion of ki. The appropriate remedy in this case is not more stimulation, but more to rest, a calmer lifestyle, and a conscious effort to reduce unnecessary desires and anxieties that keep the mind in a state of agitation. There are 4 key indicators you can use to self-assess whether your ki is in a state of balance. First, can you fall asleep naturally without relying on external aids like medication or alcohol? Second, do you urinate excessively during the day or wake up frequently at night to use the bathroom? Third, is your stool normal in consistency, not so soft and not too hard? And finally, are your hands and feet consistently warm? These simple questions provide a basic yet effective way to judge the smoothness of your ki circulation, helping you assess your current state of health and guiding you toward necessary adjustments. Once we understand where and when our ki is imbalanced, we can move to the practice of guiding it back to a state of harmony. But what exactly does it mean to guide ki? Guiding ki, also known as Tao Yin, is the art of leading and directing the body's energy to ensure it circulates smoothly, thereby maintaining the health of both the body and the mind. This can be achieved through various practices. Well-known examples include meditation and qigong forms like Ba Duan Jin, the 8 brocades, and Tai Chi. Other therapeutic methods such as acupuncture, massage, or herbal medicine are also forms of guidance, although they typically require the intervention of a skilled practitioner. The method of self-practice, however, empowers you to learn how to internally regulate and guide your own energy through the disciplines of meditation and qigong. Many people mistakenly think of qigong as just another form of physical exercise, designed simply to strengthen the body and boost metabolism. In reality, its purpose goes much deeper. Ordinary exercises like swimming, running, or weight training primarily focus on the muscles, bones, and the development of physical strength. Traditional guiding methods, in contrast, are aimed at regulating our Shen spirit, our ki energy, and our overall life force. The principles of Qigong work on multiple levels. Special movements and postures are designed to stimulate the meridians and blood vessels, which helps to harmonize the flow of qi and blood throughout the body. These movements are synchronized with specific breathing techniques, which, when combined with focused intention, have a profound calming effect on the mind. Through this integrated practice, a practitioner can learn to sense and consciously adjust the flow of qi within their body, using the tools of breath, movement, and awareness. In essence, this is the process of guiding qi through both body and mind, restoring the balance of energy and achieving a state of deep inner peace. When practiced with consistency, it can bring profound health to both body and spirit. This method of healing and self-protection is not inherently difficult to learn, but it does require discipline and dedication to master. The single most critical factor for the effectiveness of these practices lies in the breath. Whether you are engaged in meditation, Qigong, or any other guiding discipline, you must learn to pay close attention to your own breathing. Listening to your breath here does not mean hearing it with your ears, but rather sensing the life energy that moves in and out of your body with each inhalation and exhalation. During meditation or Qigong, it is very common for the mind to wander. Thoughts about the future, work pressures, family matters, or even trivial concerns like what to eat for dinner will inevitably arise. These are often called distracting thoughts. Instead of trying to resist them or forcefully push them away on approach, that is almost always ineffective and counterproductive. The more skillful method is to simply acknowledge their existence, observe them without judgment, and then gently but firmly bring your focus back to the sensation of your breath in the present moment. This practice of returning to the breath over and over again is the most basic yet most essential method for self-healing and the preservation of health. In our next discussion, we will explore the essential conditions that must be in place for this powerful process of self-healing to truly take root and flourish. Ever thought about how amazing our bodies are at healing themselves? It's pretty mind-blowing, right? So, today, we're rediving into this fascinating concept from traditional medicine that really highlights our body's incredible ability to bounce back. You might be surprised to find out that not every illness needs some fancy treatment. Sometimes, all it takes is a little tweak in our lifestyle to help our bodies find that sweet spot of balance again. Dr. Li Xin has shared some really interesting insights on this. For instance, did you know that something as simple as stress management can significantly boost your immune system? When we give ourselves the time to relax, whether through meditation or just enjoying a walk in nature, it can work wonders. We'll explore several key conditions where this natural healing shines, and I can't wait to share how small changes can lead to big results. So, stick around as we unravel this amazing journey of self-healing together. First and foremost, the mind must be calm and relaxed. This is a crucial starting point. It means the patient's mental state needs to remain stable, free from the constant worry and anxiety that often accompany illness. When we are caught in a cycle of fear, our body remains in a state of stress, which hinders its natural healing processes. Second, the energy flow in the lower burner must not be blocked. In traditional medicine, this relates to our vital essence. If there are no significant issues, like obvious pain in the lower back, abdomen, or legs, it's a good sign that this foundational energy is flowing freely, providing the support needed for recovery. Third, the middle burner must function normally. This essentially refers to our digestive system. A healthy and stable appetite, along with proper digestion, indicates that your body is capable of extracting the necessary nutrients from food to fuel the healing process. When digestion is compromised, the body lacks the building blocks it needs to repair itself. Fourth, sleep should be normal. This is when our bodies perform most of their repair and regeneration. If you are sleeping well, without issues like insomnia, insufficient sleep, or even oversleeping. It shows that your body's restorative cycles are intact and working efficiently. And fifth, the body's passages must remain stable. This covers functions like sweating, urination, and bowel movements. For women, it also includes a regular menstrual cycle. When these processes are normal and not excessive, it indicates that the body's systems for elimination and regulation are balanced and healthy. If you find yourself diagnosed with various conditions, but can honestly say that these 5 aspects of your life remain stable, then there may be no need for complicated or aggressive treatments. Often, managing any acute pain, slowing down your lifestyle, getting more rest, and making simple adjustments to your diet, daily habits, and exercise routine is enough. Under these conditions, many illnesses can resolve on their own, without specific medical intervention. On the other hand, if you react to illness with constant anxiety and fear, your body remains tense, and you might find yourself relying on medicine that never seems to lead to a true cure. If you don't cultivate a calm spirit or trust in your body's innate ability to heal, illnesses can worsen. Sometimes, a disease is only superficial and could gradually resolve through the body's self-regulating power. However, a common trend in modern medicine is to rely heavily on interventions like infusions and antibiotics to suppress symptoms, often without fully considering the side effects. This approach can trap harmful energy within the body and disrupt the delicate balance of the middle and lower burners. This teaches us a valuable lesson. Simply taking medicine as you aren't always the fastest path to a cure. Instead, we must learn to observe and assess ourselves. Take a moment to ask yourself these questions. Is my spirit gum? Am I consumed by worry or fear? What have I done recently that made my body feel uncomfortable? Have I eaten something unhealthy? Am I staying up late, drinking alcohol, or eating compulsively to cope with stress? Am I neglecting physical exercise, or have I disconnected myself from nature? Once you begin this journey of self-awareness and start to understand how your body operates, you can begin to make the necessary adjustments. This is the true starting point for restoring your vital energy and empowering your body's healing capacity. What we've shared today comes from the wisdom of traditional medicine, and hopefully it offers you valuable insights. By understanding the root of your life force, the profound unity between humans and nature, and the harmony between body and spirit, you can achieve the ideal state for long-term health and longevity. When you grasp the flow of life from the perspective of Ki, you gain a deeper understanding of your body, learn how to accurately assess health problems, and respond to your body's needs appropriately. This knowledge empowers you to regulate your energy, prevent disease, yield yourself, and live in greater harmony with the natural world. By reconnecting your mind and body, you can gradually face and overcome negative emotions, like worry, fear, and sorrow, maintaining a strong unity between your physical and spiritual self. Through practices like Qigong and meditation, you can guide your energy to flow smoothly, avoid blockages, and live a healthy, balanced life that is full of vitality. I wish you good health and peace. May you find harmony between your body and mind, live in unity with nature, and free yourself from the fear of illness. Let each day be a step closer to a fulfilling life, rich with meaning and vital energy. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please share it with those who may need it. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to catch our latest weekly videos. Once again, thank you, and see you in the next video.